Yeah, they really do things different in Texas.
Boy, that's the truth.
I can attest. Yep.
Well, they say only two things comes out of Texas, and Anthony ain't got no horns on his head. Oh, it's going to be very early.
I mean, the several hundred children is a good front.
That's how they trick you.
All right, so with that said, I guess we'll kick this off while we await our comrade. Let's go ahead and start with a recap. So, last session began with the sands of justice standing upon the border of a green, spring-fresh meadow and an ancient autumnal forest. The log cabin of a known monster hunter only a few yards into it. Sent by Stuart, the Spring King, to take care of this monster hunter and stop them from tampering with the honey goblins and their nearby village. The party moves forward cautiously, carefully inspecting the cabin's perimeter as well as exterior, drawing in the many nearby woodland creatures, communicating with them for information, while also eviscerating a few of them and sending them fleeing into the surrounding forest, afraid for their lives. Eventually, but begrudgingly, after spells were cast and other options considered and attempted, the party enters the seemingly lived-in but ultimately vacant cabin. After poking around a bit, finding nothing but a magical tapestry that seems to only depict beautiful scenery from the Feywild and recent events of the party's past, the party then turns their attention to a small garden behind the cabin. After a bit of scrying and some messing about with some magical berry bushes, the Sands of Justice stumble across a hidden entrance to an underground series of tunnels, the lair of said monster hunter. Upon entering the tunnels, said monster hunter, clearly prepared, sets off a smoke bomb and attacks the party. A few traps were triggered and spells were cast, and the combat seemed to end as quickly as it began. Though compelled by a chaos spell, the monster hunter leads the party through the tunnels to a secret door and back into her private chambers. A sleeping quarters, cooking area, makeshift forge and alchemical lab. Here is where this monster hunter removes her large and bulky outer armor, revealing her identity as Elewin, a party member of the Shades Avian, the adventuring party which Logos's father leads. She informs the party how they tracked the shadow dragon to the Winter Court, where the unkind queen seemed to take interest and offer her help. However, this seemed to be a ruse to isolate and capture Lagos before magically dispersing the rest of the Shades Avian, scattering them across the lands. Once reunited, the Shades Avian sought the help of the Spring King. He agreed to help if they would help him. They all agreed. This led to more Fey tomfoolery, as they were then given a series of impossible tasks, and with each failure were made into the subservient species of honey goblin bound to the Spring King in servitude. Elewin, alone and at her wit's end, has determined that killing the Spring King is likely the only way to break the magics that bind her allies, and that is kind of where we are now, kind of sitting around in this safe zone, this underground headquarters of Elewin. You guys, it's kind of a tight, cramped space, but there are supplies. There are a couple of cots. a small forge, an alchemical library. She's even got not only a bit of food, but also seems to have smuggled a keg of honeymead out of from the Spring King's grasp. So at this point, in this safe zone near this crackling fire, as Lewin sips yet another mug of ale, helps apply some salve to Logos for the arrow wound, and also provides Gladier with a bit of antidote thanks to the poison trap he kind of set off. She just kind of seems to be taking it all in, and you definitely notice she's 2 or 3 mugs of ale in at this point.
So I think when we left off, Glader was trying to create some material components for a spell. Um, I think we talked to Eloin, and she gave us a little bit of salt, but I was also gonna use her blacksmithing setup to uh, smash down some silver pieces so I can get 100 GP worth of salt and powdered silver. So however much salt or silver pieces I gotta smash down and crumple into dust. I think that's what Glader would probably be doing while everyone's trying to relax and or whatever they're doing.
Okay, so if you want a 100 gold pieces worth of silver dust, that's about 1,000 silver coins. So this may take a while, somewhere between like 3 to 5 hours of time to bang this out if you get to work on it right away, which I assume you do. So my question to you is, what kind of protective material are you going to attempt to wear at this point? Because unfortunately for you, silver and you don't really mix that well, and that's an awful lot of tampering and smashing and moving and dealing with silver. So kind of tell me your process. We'll assume you guys are fairly wealthy at this point. You could absolutely have 1,000 silver coins on you. So tell me kind of what is your process for breaking these down into a powder. She does have like a basic like forge and anvil. It's nothing impressive. A lot of it's kind of archaic, if you will, but functional at the very least.
Let me check my inventory really quick because I'm gonna be honest, I forgot that I had that aversion to silver. I'm gonna check real quick to see if I have anything. Do traveling clothes include gloves? Do I still have? Nope, I still traveler's clothes. Set of clothes consist of boots, a wool shirt, breeches, sturdy belt, a shirt, and an ample cloak with hood. So no. Um. Yeah, I don't think I necessarily have gloves, but shit. I mean, if I have like the traveler's clothes just from back at level 1 starting gear, like if I have like a spare cloak from that, I would honestly probably just tear it up and just make like hand wraps to try and so I'm not making direct contact with the silver. Just
Okay,
completely wrap like individual fingers and the palms of my hands, and then I guess just I don't know. I'm not a Blader is not a blacksmithing expert
okay.
or anything
Go
like
ahead and
that.
give me a sleight of hand check for the makeshift gloves. See how well you can put those together.
Sleight of hands.
I was going to say, I do have my disguise kit, which I said was a pest control, so it would have gloves.
Yeah, I'll leave that up to DM discretion.
I mean, if you want to offer your gloves to Gladier, that's totally allowed. He didn't really ask. He just started rummaging through his pack and tearing up a piece of cloth and turning it into gloves.
I figure if I saw him struggling, I'd just reach in my bag, pull him out, walk up, and silently just hold them out.
I mean, that kind of makes sense because I rolled an 8 and my sleight of hand is only +1, so Glader would have definitely been struggling to try and fashion some sort of uh, hand coverage out of a torn up cloak.
Uh, yeah, for sure, gonna be taking damage. If probably not a lot, but we'll call it something like a D10 per every hour that you have to work on this, due to the silver kind of being toxic to you for whatever reason. But definitely not so much if you're using a real, actual, solid pair of gloves. Wait, are these like frou like noble person's gloves, or are these like sturdy leather gloves? I think sturdy
These
leather makes
are
sense, right?
a rat or a possum is trying to bite me style gloves. They're
Okay,
good, like
makes sense.
cowhide.
Okay, definitely decent make, decent hide make. So for sure, not like stage prop gloves.
Yeah, so yeah, Glader would probably look at his feeble attempt at wrapping his hands in cloth, and then look at the gloves, and then look at Locris. Yeah, that's probably a better idea, and just toss the torn up cloak into the fire, and then take the gloves. Uh, Thank you very much. And then I have a feeling that any cold metal is going to be easier to turn to dust than hot metal. So I think he would just probably start smashing like silver coins with a hammer on some flat, hard surface instead of trying to heat it up or anything like that.
Okay, go ahead and give me I guess another sleight of hand check to see how long this is gonna take you.
Okay, hopefully I roll better than the gloves. Okay, that was better. Not great, but definitely better. 13.
Yeah, with that, you pull out a handful of coins, and she's got a hefty hammer there, and you begin doing work. The echoes of this hammer smashing onto silver on this iron anvil begin to kind of ring out and fill the room, with the occasional crash of the hammer. Kind of, it's a small room, kind of echoes, but Alaywin doesn't seem to mind. She kind of downs yet another ale, topping herself off, kind of gazing happily at the party, happy to have friends around for the first time in some time.
Yeah, so that's pretty much all Glader had planned. He just wanted to be prepared to do this particular spell that he thought might be helpful. So he's just going to work on that, smashing up these silver pieces into dust.
Blade is going
But
to.
but
Oh, I was just going to say, Blade's going to ask. He's like, any chance I could have some of that mead? I can't help but smell. It smells delicious.
Of course, she hands you a full mug. She's happy to share. She says, "So, you're the one that maybe made a deal, huh?"
Yeah, I did that whole pinky promise thing. Little Stuart there.
Well, y'all agreeing to help me out. It's a big deal, but Fey magic, it's kind of weird. things don't always come out how they seem, but I might could use your hand with something. And she goes and sits down on her bed and kind of beckons you forward.
Oh, okay. And Blade will approach, of course. Anything he can do to help.
First, she points across the room where she was just kind of standing. She managed to leave her cup of ale over there. She's fetch that for me.
Blade's gonna be like, "Oh, sure," and he'll. I'm gonna go ahead and use my mage hand to kind of in a flashy way, kind of reach it over and bring the mug over to her.
She cocks an eyebrow and she takes the mugs. Nice. She points to this fireplace, just the ringing of Gladier working on steel in the background. She says, you notice that there is a small pot hanging near it. The cabinet nearby, it's got some bowls, spoon. Why don't you be a dear and get me a bowl of soup?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's the least I can do for your hospitality and your kindness. And Blade will go ahead and fetch some. He likes a good bowl of soup.
You fetch her a bowl of soup and return it to her. And she takes it, looks at it. All right. She takes a single sip off of one spoonful, sets it to the side on like a nightstand. She says, all right, now, and she lays down in her bed, and she points to a blanket that has been rolled up and put on a shelf. She says, how about that, eh? I like to be tucked in nice and tight.
Well, there's nothing like a good night's sleep and feeling like you're swaddled for sure. And Blade will, he's gonna go over, he's gonna grab that thing, he's gonna bring it on over, and he's gonna put that blanket over her and really tuck her in tight. Just like, I mean, really tucking in.
She smiles and says, thank you there, pretty boy. I feel very well taken care of. And Blade, you swear for a second you hear like pixie dust jingling all around you.
Oh. Well, let me know if there's anything else you need. And I'll give the Renwick wink. More covers, more tucking, whatever. Maybe some more stew. If you need me to flavor it or warm it up for you, let me know.
No, pretty boy, I just wanted to kind of maybe meet the parameters of the nonsense agreement in the face so you don't like die or become a fucking blade of grass or something around here. So technically, you took care of me now, didn't you?
Well, I guess so. You take care, friends.
She throws the blanket off, tosses the soup back in the bowl, grabs her beer, and walks away.
Damn. I guess Blade will maybe just pop a squat and watch Gladier do some of the hammer in there, maybe munch on some of that soup.
Once you take a sip of the soup, it's not something you've ever tasted before. Like, for whatever reason, the ingredients in the soup are everything you would expect them to be and more. It's a simple soup, just some carrots and potatoes, maybe a bit of rabbit or some other kind of protein, but it's rich, it's brothy, the vegetables are earthy, and they have a texture and a flavor that is top notch. Easily the best you have ever eaten.
Can I do like a check just to kind of like see like what I know we're in the Fey realm, so there's like obviously a lot of fuckery going on, but like could I try to like figure out like what makes it so good?
Yeah. I'd accept insight or history, I think.
I don't think either are my strong suit. I'm gonna, I guess, try some history. I don't think I have a very good modifier though. Oh, okay. A +5 on history. I'll take that. Um, no, 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 no. Fuck me. I have no idea.
You're not sure why, but you do. With a 10, you do kind of realize all of the food that you guys have eaten since you've come to the Feywild is absolutely the most crisp and delicious version of whatever you had hoped it to be. It meets standards and exceeds them.
But he's just gonna kind of cock an eyebrow and be like, huh, pretty damn good.
Alaywin walks over to Gladier, banging away at these coins. She ruffles through a pack and provides him with a large file. She says, it'd probably be quicker to grind him down than pound him into smithereens there. But, do with that knowledge what you will. She walks away and goes to fill up her ale once more.
Oh shit, that's probably yeah, that makes so much more sense. I'm just getting giant chunks of silver pieces. Fuck. And then I just shove the pile of silver pieces to the side and just start filing away.
I like to think you shove a pile of dented ass silver pieces to the side.
I just push them back into my coin purse. They're just like all like dented and warped now. I mean, money's money, right?
Makes sense, yeah. It's all about the weight, right? Why is this one an L? Who cares? It's still an ounce.
But yeah, he'll just gratefully take the file and just start maybe get like a what's the word called? Bowl that they use for forging.
A walk.
Well, do you mean like a pestle and mortar type situation?
Yes, but there's a specific term for it for forging, and I can't remember the word for it. So pestle or mortar works, and just like a stone. Like I'm sure there's one. God, it's gonna fucking bother me now if I don't figure out the fucking name. But I'm gonna Google that. But yeah, he just starts filing away. I don't need to take up more time trying to Google this name. I might put it in the chat in a second when I find it.
Excellent. So, as she helps herself to another mead, she kind of stares at you guys. So it's like, I mean, what's the plan? What are we gonna do? I mean, I could maybe like cause a bit of a distraction, lead the honey goblins one way while you guys go and get the job done. But I don't know. I'm open to suggestions.
Well, you've been living in the Feywild for quite some time now. Is there any sort of resources around here that we could make anything with that might give us a competitive edge? I'm sure the Spring King's got his own form of magic, and he seems rather muscular. And Renwick kind of like glances off for a second in thought. Is there anything we could do that would potentially help us mechanically debuff him in combat, potentially? Any sort of herbs or, I don't know, weird fucking creature venom around here?
I mean, I've got a few various poisons, but I don't know if it's his bear-like nature or his fey-like nature. He doesn't react like the others. He's like symptom of being a greater fae, I think. Elewin definitely walks over to Gladier and is like, "This is for alchemy." She takes her mortar and pestle back and provides you with a crucible. There, what the fuck? And she walks away.
Shit, sorry, yeah. I never got much training in the blacksmithing and alchemy tools. So yeah, I appreciate it. Sorry.
She bows. Yeah.
Gladier, do you want some help with that?
I mean, if she has an extra file and you guys got some spare time, I wouldn't mind, filing down 1,000 silver pieces into dust. Yeah, it might be helpful if somebody helped me.
Do you have a second file?
She gestures to the backpack near the forge. There are, several odds and ends, a second hammer, a second file, various loops of chain.
I will cast Summon Shadow Spawn. So for the next hour, there's a shadowy spirit, and I tell it, go grab a file and go do that. So he has an hour of help, and I'll just keep sitting there.
Okay, perfect. You have a ghostly, kind of shadowy companion there, Gladier.
All right. Thank you, Lokers. And tips his imaginary hat.
I've got a few trinkets, if that'll help. I've got some poisons you're more than welcome to take with you. It's not super potent, but I make it from the berries above. But, she kind of pulls, a few things out from underneath her bed. A cracked shield, a little wooden box, and a long leather satchel. And she flips this satchel open and begins kind of rummaging through it. And she says, "So what are you looking for? I've got this." And she pulls out a pile. It looks like a pile of leaves, but it has been bound by a single string. And she holds it out to you, and it moves ever so gently, just kind of like back and forth, almost like, something maybe trapped within.
What
And
is that?
yeah, what exactly is that? And he kind of like leans in a little closer.
Well, weirdly enough, it's known as the Whispering Leaves. It's a collection of leaves that, when held to the ear, can convey secrets or rumors spoken by the forest. She hands it to you, Renwick.
He kind of rolls it around in his hand, then sort of like Bilbo Baggins staring at the ring, just mesmerized by it, and looks up and says, "Well, I certainly wasn't expecting that, but I greatly thank you." And he just kind of steps back and into like a quiet part of the room and just holds it up to his ear.
Whispers kind of reach out. Many voices, all whispering at once. It's kind of difficult to pull down any one voice. But go ahead and give me, let's call it like a concentration check. So I think that would be Constitution.
Constitution check. All right. How's a 12?
the whispers kind of grow and slow, and some of them fade away entirely. It is very difficult to kind of pull something out of this kind of whispery chaos. But you do, and what you hear is apparently the forest. Speaking of a grove, where there's an abundance of fruit trees, and these fruit trees seem to be attracting their woodland friends. But aside from this grove being talked about, you don't really get a location, and it's kind of fleeting. Once the whispers come, they tend to go. But apparently, there's a magical grove with a lot of fruits and wild animals in it somewhere nearby.
And I think he just kind of looks down and says, "Oh, that sounds wonderful. Perhaps we'll rest there after we slay another monarch." He just tucks the leaves away.
She pulls out a mirror. She's like, so, I mean, I don't really know what this does, but it definitely pings with magic when I go to detect magic. So I know it's magical, but I have no fucking idea. I swiped it from the Spring King's bedroom when he wasn't around. She hands over a mirror out of her leather parcel as well.
How exactly did you get in the Spring King's bedroom?
Well, like I said, we were allies once, so I've definitely cased the place, but he's only ever seen me, at least recently, in that. She points to like this oversized suit of armor that she kind of climbs in and does battle in, and it's definitely got like a mask type of situation. Almost like an exosuit, if you will. She says, but if I don't wear that, she kind of gestures to herself. She is, a lithe half elf, and you notice very agile, light on her feet. She says, I might have been known to sneak into a place and take something every once in a while.
I like her style.
Uh, you don't know what it does? Blade's going to kind of look at the mirror.
No clue. I just know that he liked it and fucked that guy, so I took it.
Can I check it out?
Yeah, she hands you this mirror. It's only about a foot by a foot. The Spring King is a large humanoid, so it would be like a hand mirror to him. It's a little bit more than that to you, but yeah. You could give me an Arcana check or an investigation check.
I'm going to start with Arcana, which I think I have very low. Oh, shit. Fuck yeah. Okay. Nat 20 for 22.
You kind of inspect this mirror, you fumble your fingers over it, and this enchanted mirror, you deduce, can show one's true self or reveal hidden truths about a person. So, knowing that, do you gaze into this mirror?
Let's play a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to look into it.
Blade, you look into this mirror and it's almost mesmerizing. It takes you back to a time in your life. Recent, but not super recent. You're back in the temple of Corellian Larthian. You are in the High Elven Royal City. Your comrades are there. This priest is curing your comrades of the various ailments that have plagued them while they were in, the Shadowfell. And you elected not to have your issues cured. And you hear him speaking about what could potentially be side effects from the Shadowfell. What could potentially befall a mortal should they traverse to that realm and then somehow find their way home. And one word sticks out like a dagger in your mind. It is possible that anyone traversing the realms may also receive vivid hallucinations due to the trauma of the Shadowfell. And it is at that moment you notice your shadow on the wall, flipping you the bird.
Oh, you again. I swear to God, you followed me here. Even in the Fae.
Who again?
Elewin's looking really confused. She's like, you found me. I didn't find you. What?
Ugh. I mean, you do see him. He's literally flipping me the bird right now.
When they look, just a normal shadow.
You'll have to excuse him. He's very pretty and charismatic, and he's saved us on multiple occasions. But he does occasionally talk to himself and act like his shadow's alive. But I mean, there's quite a few of us, and none of us have ever seen it. Just let it go.
Did he get hit? Did he get hit in the head or something while you guys were what?
We've been through a lot.
All right. I mean, to each his own. I mean, it's a little bonkers, but I've seen worse shit. I watched a guy get turned into a flower. That was fucking weird.
I do have a question about this tapestry we found upstairs.
Her face kind of lights up. She's like, "Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. That's a pretty good one, huh? Beautiful, beautiful settings, beautiful scenery. It's, as far as I can tell, shows beautiful scenes in the Feywild as well as one's past. And if you spend enough time with it, i.e., attune to it, it also potentially shows you your future. It's creepy as hell, man. I'm pretty sure I know when I die. But it's not in the Feywild, so that's nice.
I'm sure that's helpful to have.
Nah, I lose a lot of sleep over it, but I mean, that's why it's up there.
So you don't mind if it goes away, do you?
No, to be totally honest, I also stole that from Stuart, so.
So yes. Something
You can have it, absolutely.
awesome. So we have something that'll tell us about your future. He has something to tell us about your present self. And something about the past, was it?
Yeah, the tapestry, I don't know about the present, but the past and the future, if you spend enough time with it, it'll show you both.
I wonder if that means anything.
She kind of shrugs. She's like, I don't know. I just hope that it's truthful and there's not some weird fey fuckery that screws me out of whatever timeline I've seen just because I saw the timeline or something weird. Some sort of like butterfly effect. Because according to that thing, I die as an old lady with tons of grandkids in Nightwood, happily ever after. So let's hope it's right. She does also provide Renwick. She provides you with a single vial of poison. She says, coat your weapons in it. It's good for like an hour. It's not a lot, but does the trick, especially on, game.
For a whole hour. That's you make your stuff rather long lasting down here. I'm used to it only lasting a minute. And he takes the vial and winks.
That's what she said, little fella. She pats your head. So, I mean, I don't know how long you guys have been on the road or whatever. You guys want to chill here? That's fine. I mean, not chill. Definitely, she pulls her sword out. Don't fucking chill here, all right? You'd be on edge and worried. She kind of looks at you crazy-eyed for a moment, and she sheaths her blade and goes and posts up in a corner, drink in hand, kind of giving you guys free run of the place should you require a place to rest, or there's a bit of food, there's a bit of drink, there's some tools and alchemical supplies, plenty of bandages and salves should you guys need to heal up.
So I think our current plan is to try and get a sneak on the Spring King. So I think if we were able to coordinate a time when we're in his little tower to then harass the honey goblins in order to keep them distracted, might be able to pull it off.
Yeah.
I will absolutely I'm good at it too. Like they know to look out for me nowadays. If I cause a bit of a ruckus, maybe burn down a couple of hovels, start a fist fight or two, I'll have that whole damn village on my ass, and that'll clear them out of his cave and your way. So I'm in if that's the plan.
Well, the thing that concerns me is the vagueness of take care of. If she goes causing a ruckus, that means we didn't take care of the problem.
Oh, Logus, I know you sometimes zone out. She had Blade give her a drink, food, and tuck her into bed. He took care of her. His deal is done.
Oh, well. Good.
I tucked you in good too.
I must have blacked out. Well then, good then.
Yeah, and I just need 1 minute to cast this spell. So I mean, as long as you guys can keep his attention off of me for 1 minute, I think we can get a pretty good advantage against him. But like it's
I'm sure one of Blade's ditties could keep him distracted. We can have him sing for a full minute.
Yeah, ain't no party like a Diddy party.
You motherfucker! I was just about to say that.
Yeah, it's just one of those spells that requires spoken word and some material components and waving of the hands and stuff. So like he's really got to be focused on you guys, because I feel like if he sees me doing some weird shit in the corner, he's gonna stop me.
I don't know.
So,
He seems pretty chill though. I mean, if you say it's like some kind of interpretive dance, maybe
yeah, I mean that is a good backup if he does notice. That's actually not a bad idea.
It's a big moment for you, Gladiator. You got the confidence to get this done. Now you've been kind of whiffing on things lately.
Yeah, that is not helping the confidence.
I mean, he already thinks you're weird because you were just doing that whole weird thing at the pool.
But I was just trying to light some candles to set them. I was trying to help. I was trying to be chill.
And then you're going to be waving your hands and doing a spell while we're trying to talk to him.
Well, that's why you guys got to get a good distraction. I need
Well,
one of
maybe,
you guys.
maybe you put the groundwork that you're kind of a weird guy. Maybe if you just start like mumbling shit and waving your hands in the corner, they're none the wiser there. That's just Blade Ear. He's kind of weird.
Okay, that's an interesting take. That
I mean, to be fair,
makes
you're
kind of sense.
the most religious of us, and I mean, let's be honest, religion gets real weird sometimes. So I'm sure if you play that up, he's probably not going to question it. He seems pretty chill. I don't think he'd necessarily judge you for your religion, and that might buy you at least a minute or so.
Yeah, yeah. You guys just say I'm doing some weird prayer, daily worship shit to Elor, and you should be good, right? Should we get some rest before we go, though? Maybe a longer than a short rest. Yeah, just your average full night's long rest type of sleep.
Why did you use a lot of spells there today, Gladier?
Uh, no, I only used one. I mean, I'm also fine to go. I'm also only like 50 HP down, which is less than a third. So if we want to just fucking go and do this now, I could do it now. I just didn't know how everyone else was.
I mean, I'm feeling rather limber, but I mean, if you need time, suppose we could take it. I feel like the longer we wait, the more suspicious it'll be.
True. No, I mean, we just need I think Sean said it would take like minimum like 3 hours to shave down all that silver dust. So like, need that time. But other than that,
I'd say we could half the time due to Locris's helper, even though he's only around for an hour. We could call it about an hour and a half of downtime is about what you need to grind your silver powder.
okay. Yeah, I mean, that's really all I need to do is get the material component. So if you guys are good after that short time, hour and a half, then I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I did do a sixth or fifth. I did a pretty powerful spell on Lei Wen. I mean, if we want to go full guns blazing, a long rest might not be a bad idea, but it was only one spell, so I mean, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, same for me. I only did the one, so
I agree. I have not used many spells myself, but if we're about to go against a literal god, then we should probably have everything at our arsenal.
well, he's not a god, right? Didn't we determine he was like at best a demigod?
Yeah, I mean, you said you were allies, which means you're probably pretty privy to the way he likes to fight. Maybe any sort of abilities or things we should be looking out for. I mean, we are in the Fey realm, and he is what we assume a demigod at the very least. Certainly, he's got some shit we'd like to be aware of.
Well, I mean, he's a tough son of a bitch, but I don't know about a god. Gods don't bleed. And I've cut that fucker from here to Sunday and back. But, yeah, I mean, those teeth and claws, he might seem like a bit of a ninny, but they're real. And he's strong. Exceptionally strong. I mean, he's a big guy, but he's strong even for a big guy. And, shit. Just don't let him get his paws on you. I don't know. He's real mellow when he's getting his way. He's real chill, but you see the bear side flash up when he starts not getting what he wants. It's kind of like a Dr. Jekyll thing. You know, he's or whichever. You know, he's both
Does
a
he,
monster and a gentleman. It just depends on his mood, I guess.
Did he ever try to cast anything on you? Or is he just pure brute strength every time you fought?
Yeah, has he got some sort of ability to charm you?
All of the Fae have the ability to charm you to some extent or another. Well, all of them. Little Pixie, so, the gnomes, the dryads, like everybody's got a little something, so I'd expect he does too.
Second question: Do you have no idea which honey goblin is part of the Shade Deviant? Do you?
I mean, I've caught a few of them. I've studied them for a little while. They all have like unique markings. They're mostly yellow with these like black stripes. But I don't. I'm not 100% on everybody, but yeah, I know one. I'm pretty confident that I can identify at least one of my comrades, but the other two, I don't know. I've got half a dozen of them and brought them home to check. If I caught the right one, who's to say?
And does the king have any allies or anybody that would maybe come to his aid should we start an attack? How will the bees react? Or I guess the honey goblins, rather. Yeah, they just look like big bees to me,
They will absolutely bend to his will. When he's angry, they are like a swarm of angry bees. Which is why you figure, I'll poke the nest a little bit, get them to come at me. I'm a fucking expert when it comes to honey goblins, and that'll free you guys up for at least a few minutes. Hopefully that's all you need.
And in that time, I guess you're going to have to try to identify anyone you can and get them as far away from here as you can, because if they turn on us and we're fighting the king, you know that we're not going to be able to serve or really show any mercy. At that point, it is life or death. So if you don't keep them away and they join the fight, I can't promise that they won't get slain.
Well, I'll keep them away as long as I can. But yeah, it's if you guys fail, we're all kind of fucked anyway. So I don't think it would matter. But yeah, I can buy you 5-10 minutes tops. Hopefully long enough to slay this Spring King and potentially free these honey goblins from his grasp. See how angry they are when they don't have a leader anymore.
Well, as long as we're in agreement, then it seems like at the very least it'll be just us and him initially, and hopefully we can take care of the problem before the honey goblins make it back. I'd hate for there to be any collateral damage here.
I'll do what I can, and they'll survive. I'll burn down a couple hovels, punch a couple assholes in the nose, push over an old lady crossing the street, whatever I gotta do. Yeah, they're pretty dumb. They're pretty one-track mind. I got a few ideas.
All right, so speak up now. Does anybody need or want a long rest? No waffling. Say yes. Let me sleep, damn it.
I mean, no, we're good. We're good.
I think I'm all set.
Hey, Sean, how
Okay.
far was the Spring King? Like, how far is the trek back?
Not far, less than a mile.
Logus, do you want me to carry you?
Well, now, how much is a mile in?
In the Fae, 20 million. I don't know. What was the question?
How many feet are in a mile?
Fuck, I don't know.
Are we just going by
It's
Google?
I
like
want to say 1600.
50. It's 5280.
Never mind. I wanted to do something cool, but it wouldn't have made much of a difference.
Oh, way to blue ball us. I mean, you said it was something cool, and you're not even gonna do it now.
Well, I have the ability to, you remember how my mom got us back to Nightwood and through the trees? I can do that, but it's only 500 feet, so we wouldn't get much further.
You can speak with the trees now.
I can enter
Well,
the trees and end up in another tree up to 500 feet away.
that is an interesting insight into your sex life. But I can also speak to the trees now, and he kind of shows the whispering leaves out of his pouch and slides them back in.
All right, so let's saddle up and let's head out.
Okay, yeah. You guys give Gladier a bit of time to grind down these pieces that he needs, these spell components. You guys go ahead and take your short rest as you kind of patch your wounds and whatnot, maybe recover what you do, and then, yeah, you guys get ready to head out. And Alaywin leads the way, this time leaving the giant, bulky suit of armor behind. She leads you guys through the secret door, down these tunnels, up a hatch, and out the top of a berry bush, back to the log cabin. And you guys make your way towards the Spring King's lair. Once again, as you guys kind of cross from this autumnal forest into this green meadow, the second you guys step back into the green meadow, the sun shoots across the sky. It is no longer a dusky orange, but a bright, barely over the mountain, shining, beautiful morning sun as you guys walk through this spring fresh field and through this small tree line and a creek and make your way up to the Spring King's lair. So tell me kind of how you guys approach. You guys already know a good layout of the area. It's essentially one big room. You know, he's got like a back hallway with a couple of other smaller rooms in there that Locris kind of sniffed out. But essentially, it's just one big room, one big chamber in this mountain, and it's one big staircase that kind of leads up to it. It's about 20 feet wide. It goes 30, 40 feet up the side of this mountain into this like natural cave hot spring type situation. But tell me kind of how you guys approach, what your plan is. You just go in guns a-blazing? Are you stealthing and scouting? Or are you guys going with like a charisma kind of bait and switch? Like, you tell me what's going on.
Okay, Gladier, specify what you need from us to get your thing on.
All right, let me see if there's any specifics here.
You showed with the dryads you have trouble getting it off, so let us know how we can help.
God damn it. All right. So the spell, I just need a minute to cast it. It's verbal, somatic, and material components. So, there's a little divine arcane words I have to say, and some I have to lay out this salt and powdered silver during this ritual. I mean, so it's short. It's not too long. I mean, like I said, only a minute, but it does require a little bit of time. So, I mean, I
How
think
close
that's
do you have to be to him?
uh,
Do you have to see him
10 feet.
10 feet?
Well, you sort of buried the fucking lead on that one.
Listen, okay, I know it's a long shot, but I mean, either way, I'm not DM. I'm not saying this loudly in like a stage whisper. either way, we're gonna like end up having to fight this guy. So like either I try and get this off and succeed, and it helps us a lot, or I try and get this off and we fight him anyway. Like either way, we're gonna end up fighting this guy. But like I think if I can get this off, it'll really help us a lot.
Well, I think you're really gonna have to sell your sort of argument here to him. You're going to have to convince him that you have to pray to Pelor at weird times of the day and that the ritual's a little off-putting. And we can cross our fingers and hope he doesn't realize what you're trying there.
Yeah.
What a weirdo.
You're just gonna be fucking chanting and dancing behind, like directly behind.
Listen, it doesn't say that in the spell. It just there's no specifics on the ritual. It just says verbal, somatic, and material.
So you're literally going to be waving your arms and yapping to yourself for a straight minute.
It's not that involved. I just listen. I'll come up with a short little. I'll come up with something to tell him. Say I need to just give me a second to think, but I need to do some sort of prayer real quick and just continue on with the conversation, and then you guys can go on regaling him with the facts of our mighty exploits in slaying his great enemy that we just stopped from harrowing his precious honey goblins. I mean, if you guys tell that amazing tale and Blade, I mean, we all know you're a performer. Like, you can keep his attention. If you can just keep his attention for a minute while I do this, distract him enough where he's more focused on you guys and not really worrying about my weird ass prayer in the background. Like, I think we can pull it
Not even
off.
in the background. You're right next to him. Look, Blade,
10
what
feet
if
away is not right next to him.
it damn well might be? What if we do this? Look, what if we go in there and you do a fake out, right? Say you start praying, doing your weird little chants, but you're not actually casting anything. And that way, after the minute, nothing happens. And then when you do it again, say later in the day, he's more comfortable with what's happening.
That's actually not a bad idea. That's actually smart. I actually kind of like that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure where you were going with that at first, but after you said it, it kind of made sense. But that also requires us to really sell the fact that we're not trying to kill him for at least an extended period of time.
I mean, I could say it's I don't know, like an hourly ritual. We just hang out with him for an hour.
He saw you yesterday, though. You didn't do that all day yesterday.
Well, what day was
that's a fair point.
What day of the week was it? Maybe it's
I have an idea.
Does anybody even know how long we were there?
We spent the night there.
Yeah, we were there for probably minimum 12 hours.
Yeah, but it's the Feywild, so 12 hours here, who fucking knows?
He doesn't keep track of time. He's fucking chill as fuck.
He spent an eternity.
That's what he wants you to think.
He doesn't even have a clock.
How many times have we been fooled before?
That's fair.
I mean, they said the Dryads weren't a part of this, so me and Blade could definitely definitely kill some time here. So no worries.
Oh, for sure. I mean, I wouldn't want any gens getting involved in this.
All right. What if we take Logus's plan and just shorten it by a great amount of time?
What if we do this? You do it after a mission completed.
Oh.
You pray Pelor for a safe journey, coming back from a mission.
And thank him for keeping me safe and alive and finishing the mission successfully. That's not bad. That's good.
I'm on fire today. I don't know if it's because I'm closer to my father or what, but I feel like I'm on fire today.
Yes, it's like
I didn't want to say it because I don't want to weaponize alcohol or anything, but it seems like we should just make Logus day drink more often because he's having all kinds of good ideas. He's really leading the party right now, and I'm here for it.
Locris, any objections? Are you cool with this plan? I mean, you're kind of the smarty guy of the group.
Well, I was going to say I could always make him invisible. I'll
I think the moment
play
starts,
kind of
so
this. Well, yes, once it's cast. At that point, it won't matter, though. Not while you are in the middle of casting it, though.
But if he's invisible, you could still hear him, and he's got to have verbal components.
and I'm within.
I'd also be a little concerned that somebody of his power would probably be able to see through invisibility.
Yeah. If there was a longer range, I would 100% say yes. But 10 feet away, like even if I'm whispering, he's probably going to hear that.
I thought of it more as you use Logos's idea that you're going to do a celebratory prayer, but you like to do it in privacy. So I could do an invisibility, so you will at least look invisible. And then, well, if Blade distracts him with his music, he won't bother to look behind him. He'll just assume everything is going. And none of the dryads will see you to be able to, snitch.
Yeah, I mean, I think that would work in that point, but it also might just set him off a little bit, like just make him a little uneasy. Like if I just, even if he didn't notice right away, if I just turn invisible and start muttering shit, they might be a little bit more wary than if I just knelt down and pretended to start praying.
Otherwise, yeah, this idea sounded great.
Locris pulls out his journal, writes down the day, the time. Locris finally agreed with one of my plans, and then puts his journal away.
All right, so I think like we're gonna go on there together. You guys are gonna start. I'll tell him I need to make a prayer to my God, thanking him for a safe return from a dangerous mission. And you guys just start stringing along the most bullshit heroic story.
But we can't lie. We need to be careful not to lie.
Yeah.
Blade took care of her. That's all he needs to know.
As long as your description lasts a full minute, we're fine.
Well, we can always start partying and celebrating, distracting him. Don't have to talk.
But as long as you keep him within 10 feet, I mean, if he leaves 10-foot radius, I mean, that's it.
Well, I mean, the thing with being truthful is you're truthful while lying. He stopped her from being able to breathe. She was drinking water. He knocked her out, tucked her into bed. He shoved it down her throat. Spoonful of food.
Oh, Chris, you are a poet.
Yes, especially when it comes to the macabre.
Yeah.
Logis is kind of uncomfortable because, growing up, his dad's, adventuring buddies were like his aunts and uncles. So hearing this is.
You don't like your friend talking about Blade shoving something down your pseudo aunt's throat?
Stop.
I tucked your aunt away so tight.
They're two consenting adults, I'm happy for her, happy for Blade, good job there, fellow.
Thank you.
But, not, I don't need to hear the details.
All right. So we got a plan. Shall we fucking go for it? Hope it fucking works?
Yeah, worst case scenario, we just fucking start fighting him. I mean, it's what we always do anyways. I think we're trying to outsmart ourselves here. And
Yeah.
it's not, Gladiator, I believe in you, but, so we'll see.
That sounded so encouraging. Thank you.
Yeah, well, right, Blade, Gladiator, right? We believe in you, but,
Yeah. We have faith.
All right, let's fucking go.
All right. So, I dropped a few pics in the feed, but it's just kind of to show you kind of the terrain you're walking into. It's essentially just one big room. There's a couple of hot tubs on this lower level, but the one big hot tub, the one main hot tub, is kind of elevated. There's another like set of stairs you have to go up or over this like about 10-foot wall or so to get into this tub, and that is where the Spring King currently is. The little black dots on the uh, hovering around one of the pools there are actually the gens. So there are several dryads kind of clustered together, gossiping as usual. But yeah, as you guys kind of approach, the Spring King's doing a soak. A couple of honey goblins run up and down the stairs, bringing full buckets of honey and carrying away the empties. And as you guys kind of approach, the Spring King seems excited and is happy. He sees you guys approach and says, "Oh, man, that was fast. My goblins told me you were coming. Dudes, very nice dudes. All right. That's wild, man. I was expecting you guys to be gone for, I don't know, at least a month or two. Like, wow, crazy. Mortals, man."
Yeah, it was well, it was quite the endeavor, but we've made it back safely. Uh, won't you come celebrate with us? We'd hate to climb in the tub, what with our gear so dirty from the travels and whatnot, but I mean, it's cause for celebration. She was greatly taken care of.
Uh,
Yes, Blade was made sure she was expertly taken care of.
Yeah.
well, very nice. All right. Well, like always, I was just kind of chilling. Why don't you don't have to worry about being dirty. The pool cleans, itself. It's enchanted that way. I mean, I don't recommend it, but I mean, you could totally, just piss straight into this thing and it would clean it magically. It's kind of crazy. Don't do that, but you can.
I My dad always said it's always you know, it's stranger to piss into the pool rather than or sorry, into the pool rather than in the pool. But alas, I think I'll stay dry for now. But he takes out a flask of fine liquor that he's been carrying around and takes a swig and kind of holds it up as a cheers and like holds it out, hoping to kind of draw the king out from the tub.
Give me a persuasion check.
That is a 19.
With a 19, he, swims over to the stairs, grabs this lion's pelt that he kind of uses for a towel, fastens it around himself, and begins walking your way. He's like, all right. Gens, how about some tunes? And the gens from the other side of the large room or whatever, they begin playing music magically through a combination of spells. The lot of them begin playing soothing tones in the background. He says, "All right," and he comes to grab your flask from you, even though it's two-fingered type of a shot for him. And he definitely takes a pull. He's like, "Good, good, awesome." So like, well, I mean, welcome to Chill, man. You guys have done me a huge favor. Like, wow, incredible. Uh, Come and chill. Let's hang out. I want to know the details. Like, tell me what happened. What'd you guys do? How'd you get her to leave my little fucking yellow buddies alone?
Blade's going to pull out his concertina and just kind of start jamming along with the gens over in the pool a little bit. Not like leaving the party, but just kind of like harmonizing with them.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
Glader's gonna kind of hold his hand up. Jack, you know, I would really love to regale you with the specifics, but we all know they're better with their words, and I unfortunately have a specific duty to my deity that I pray to. That every time I come back from a successful mission, I just take a moment to appreciate the chill life I've been given and the great time I get to spend with my friends performing these great deeds for our new friends, gesturing towards him. So if you don't mind, I'm just gonna sit down here right here for a second. I'm just gonna take a moment, but they're gonna tell you all about our great adventure and how we took care of that problem.
Go ahead and
Oh,
give me a persuasion check, Gladier.
can I
Um,
can I do a little assist with this? I was gonna just kind of chime in and say, "Oh, yeah, let's do it." He tends to kind of do these things after a big combat. Though we did fell the enemy. She put up a good fight, and it was nearly cost him his life. That's for sure.
Whoa, well, I remember him now. Mr. Unchill. This all checks out, brother. You do what you gotta do. So, let's go for a soak, man. Get out of those gross clothes. Let's go hang out and drink some honey mead. And you guys can tell me all about it.
so, you want me to roll persuasion?
Yeah, for sure.
Did he, with that help action, would he give me advantage or just straight roll?
Oh, for sure advantage on your
Alright.
persuasion check.
Oh boy. Uh, that's a natural 20 and a 19
Oh, fuck
for a
yeah.
30.
You sounded like Mickey Mouse there.
He really did.
Sorry, I got really excited, and apparently I sound like
Oh
Mickey Mouse.
boy!
I'm excited.
Oh boy!
As you guys, he's trying to get you to regale him of the details. He eyeballs Gladier, but seems to shrug it off. He's skeptical at first, but is none the wiser currently. All right, weird. I'll get you. I'll have a honey goblin bring a candle, and he snaps his fingers, and a honey goblin runs in and brings a small candle over next to Gladier, plants it, lights it, bows, takes off.
Before the honey goblin takes off, can I make just like a small insight check to see if I see any pain behind those eyes, or if I get any recognition, anything?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check.
And also, the moment he doesn't show any sort of like, I don't know, like hostility or suspicion, I kneel down and immediately start performing the spell magic circle. It takes a full minute, but I'm just sitting there trusting that my friends can keep him within range for 60 more seconds as I start casting the spell, pulling out the silver dust and salt and everything, and I'll say Paylor a few times throughout the ritual to hope that he thinks I'm just saying a prayer.
All right. Um, I think with your party's help, you can make this roll with advantage, but go ahead and give me a deception check.
Also, I wrote a 17 on that insight.
With a 17 insight, the honey goblin in question does, it's hard to read, but they genuinely seem to be about honey. They love making it, they love eating it, they love sharing it. It's just their jam. As far as you can tell, all these honey goblins seem very honey motivated.
All right, deception with advantage, you said?
Correct.
Oh god, thank God. 16 on the die for a 21.
Very nice. Yeah, so he kind of looks to Blade and to Logos and Locris. He's like, so, come on, let's, tell me the deets. He kind of stretches as he snaps his fingers, and yet another honey goblin rushes in with a bucket. And he just kind of takes the bucket and drinks it as, one would a regular mug. He's just kind of sipping on honey. So, details, I want to know. Like, what was it? Like, did you guys have like this epic clash of like steel? Me and him squabbed a couple times. It was like yeah, he's got a mean bite. So tell me the details. I want the heroic story here.
Well, I mean, finding the son of a bitch was a problem in itself. This being was quite the hunter, using a lot of traps.
Yeah, I actually had to speak to some of the woodland creatures who were able to, give us little information on the whereabouts. And being an expert tracker myself, we eventually found where this being was hiding.
Yep.
Interesting. Wild.
Yeah, and it gets even crazier when we actually found her lair. Are you familiar with her, or his lair?
Well, layer is like, I don't know. That's a strong word, man. I mean, maybe we should talk about this and chill up in the tub. That way, the gens don't get all worked up.
From where I'm from, they say it's bad luck to climb in a hot spring directly after a brutal end of a mission.
Go ahead and give me a persuasion or deception check. Your call.
Oh god. Shit, they're the same. All right.
Was that just Renwick?
Just Renwick.
Dirty 20. Natty 15.
He looks at you. He's like, "Bro, there's times in your culture where you don't chill in the hot tub? Like, that's the saddest thing I've ever heard." He picks up a jar of honey and just casually slides it over to you. He says, "Dude, take this for sure." Man, that's rough.
Your generosity is greatly appreciated. I wasn't capable of having much growing up. Means a lot. And he sort of just very slowly will like reach out, making like deep eye contact with him as he takes the honey, trying to draw the moment out as long as he can.
And the 60 seconds is up. Gladiator, your spell cracks off. So what is your spell and what do you need from me?
Oh. I've been sweating bullets over here hoping this would fucking work. Okay. I'll just put the language in the chat. I'm casting this at 3rd level, so it's just the basic. 10-foot radius, 20-foot tall cylinder of magical energy centered on a point on the ground you can see within range. So I would have it centered on the Spring King. Intersects or glowing runes wherever it intersects with the floor or other surface. I will choose Fey as the type of creature, so it will affect any Fey creature. Any creature can't willingly enter, or you can also. So it can't enter by non-magical means. If the creature tries to use teleportation or interplanar travel to do so, it must first succeed on a charisma saving throw. Creature has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets within the cylinder. Targets within the cylinder can't be possessed or gain the charmed or frightened condition from the creature. Each time you cast this spell, you can cause this magic to operate in the reverse direction preventing the creature of the specified type from leaving the cylinder and protecting the targets outside of it. So I would like to do the reverse. So he is trapped inside of this 10-foot radius, 20-foot tall cylinder little prison, and he can't escape unless he does a charisma saving throw, disadvantage on attacks against us outside of the cylinder. And yeah.
So, describe for me how this, what does this cylinder of magic look like to you? How does it manifest and surround this guy?
So I imagine he's. Our roles have been kind of good, so excuse me if I take a little bit of liberty with the description. But I feel like they've been distracting him pretty well so far. So I think as Glader's just like kind of kneeling down, um, he like forms the salt and the silver dust into like a small sun on the floor in front of him, and then runes, like glowing golden runes matching that sun figure, kind of just start to like pop up in a circle around the Spring King. And then once the minute casting time is up, it just kind of bursts into this brilliant golden light, and it's just kind of like a force field of kind of like not opaque. Opaque you can see through, opaque you can't see through. I always get them mixed up. Low opacity, whatever. You can see through it, but it's like this like golden force field, just like cylinder prison, shoots up around him, and then Glader just kind of like slowly stands up and like dusts off his hands and puts his hand on the hilt of his Kopesh.
Oh, bro, this is absolutely unchill. About this time, you hear several loud explosions from the direction of the Honey Goblin village, and panic kind of creeps across the Spring King's face. Everybody go ahead and roll some initiative.
As it finally worked. We finally came up with something super convoluted and ridiculous, and it actually fucking worked.
No surprise round. No generous DM.
I mean, he's surprised, but now, it's pretty clear it's on.
That's some low initiative for me. God damn.
Oh, Randall, you definitely have higher decks than me, so you can go before me.
You're on fire today, lady. You actually rolled higher than me in initiative.
That literally never happens.
I'm here for Gladier's glow up.
Yeah, watch, I'm gonna roll fucking dog shit for attacks now. Got all my
Get
good rolls
one
out
shot.
of the way.
What was Locris at?
Hit a 13.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a 16.
Blade and
Like, I spend
Locris?
all my good rolls on fucking RP and shit. The second we hit combat, it's like, would you like to roll below 10? Because that's where we're going to be all night.
So Blade and Locris have 13?
Mm.
So which one of you's got the better decks?
Oh, him by a mile.
Okay. I actually rolled pretty stellar for initiative. The Spring King, once kind of trapped in this cylinder, He bangs on the walls with a mighty blow, and he's just in a rage. He's like, "What have you done to me?" And he begins to kind of transform. He's no longer this like handsome, gentle bear. His horns go from that of a gazelle to that of a ram, and his eyes glow with deep dark red, and hair sprouts across what is a mostly hairless body. And he just becomes this, enraged, and he stomps his feet, and he's kind of stuck essentially. He struggles against Gladier's bonds, but he, from within the cylinder, can't really effectively get to any of you guys. I guess I'll make a couple of attacks with disadvantage, correct?
Yeah, he can still make attacks, spell attacks or ranged attacks or melee attacks if somebody's standing right on the other side of the wall. It's just at disadvantage. Um, and where to go? Yeah, so targets. It says targets within the cylinder can't be possessed or gain the charmed or frightened condition. But then it says the magic operates in the reverse direction. So I mean, I'll leave that up to you. But it feels like it's since we're reversing it, targets outside the cylinder can't be possessed or gain the charmed or frightened condition from people inside.
Yeah, that makes sense. So his one of his standard actions is actually the first thing he does is make this terrifying roar that shakes the entire cave. But alas, you guys are all immune to fear because you're on the outside of the cylinder. So he kind of burns his first standard action. But as a bonus action at disadvantage, he is going to slash out. And I'm going to say it was Renwick who enticed him with a bit of liquor. So it is Renwick who he will strike. That is a 14, but also a natural 1. So clamber as he might, strike as your cylinder is effective. Whatever magic binds him to this place has definitely disrupted his state of being. He huffs and puffs and howls, but he can't quite get through this. And he's going to at the end of his turn, he's got a legendary action prepared, and he stomps one of his feet hard and into the ground. It is such a reverberation that it cracks the floor and the nearby wall. Several honey pots fall from this, netting and various vegetation that has been kind of conglomerating to the top of this cave, and they fall on Blade. Blade, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw. These honeypots come crashing down from the ceiling all around you, and even though some of them miss, most of them miss, when they hit the ground and explode, they kind of they explode honey, just exude it in all directions. You quickly find yourself covered in honey. Go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw. Gladier is literally right behind you, so you get his bonus for sure.
15?
15 is just shy of the number, so unfortunately, just go ahead and write that as 1 failure. As this honey kind of coalesces around you, it immediately hardens, and you find yourself kind of soaked and caked in this honey that is now essentially, almost turning to stone. It is hard and thick and begins to restrain you. So currently, you will be restrained, and Constitution saving throw at the end of each of your turns.
Damn. That's good.
It's a bit of flavoring on the flesh to stone spell, or reverse. I mean, stone to flesh. Whatever, you get
it. Understood.
Okay, so after he pulls that off, Renwick, you are up.
So with this magic circle, actually, no, because we can move freely through it because we're not Fey. So I can get in melee and then I can still step away. So in that case, I think we're going to go with some Polaris here. I think I'm just going to run up and try to take a good old-fashioned stab at him.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Go ahead and give me some attack rolls, man.
That is a 24 to hit on the rapier.
Oh, that hits for sure.
Sick. Ooh, I get 2 fucking attacks per action now. So second swing with the rapier. That one's going to be an 18 to hit.
Also hits for sure.
No shit. All right. So I guess I need 2 Constitution saving throws, or is it just once per turn for the infusion on my sword?
You know what? I don't really recall. We could do one.
Actually, no, it does. Sorry, I did actually type that into the thing. It was a custom item. It just took me a second to find it. It is once per turn, but I need a DC 14 con save from you.
All right, and fucking 13.
No shit. Okay. So I believe since no other allies are in melee range right now, that also procs my sneak attack. So that's going to be a D8 plus 46 of sneak attack damage and 2d6 of cold damage. Filling up the dice tray here.
Very nice.
There's 20, 31, 33 points of damage on the first attack.
Damn, okay.
Sorry, 40. I have a +7 as well. So 40 points of damage. And then the second hit is going to be 15 points of damage. And then I'm going to go ahead and fire off a hand crossbow shot as well. Too many dice. That is a 23 to hit. So with that, I believe it's going to be another 8 points of damage.
As you still probably might hit, but as you pull your crossbow and fire, one of the gens you hear call out, I mean, nobody was gonna say it, but we all thought your tentacle hand was super fucking weird. Go ahead and roll a d10 and subtract that from your 23 to hit.
Okay. I'll roll the d10 in chat just to be fair here. Let's see. What did I roll to hit on that one? It was 23?
23,
yeah.
I believe.
Yeah. Fuck.
What does that bring you down?
Of course. A 15. Fucking Avray.
15 is actually the number, so you still
no
hit.
shit. Okay.
You still hit despite you being harsh words being thrown at you from one of the gens.
Fuck yeah, I'll take that. It was just an additional 8 points of piercing. Magical if it matters.
Okay, yeah. Bolt jams in him as well. Are you going to remain in the cylinder with him?
Nope. I'm going to use the remainder of my movement to get some space. I want to be outside of that circle, preferably, I'm guessing 10 or 15 feet away.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Easily done as you kind of surprise attack this individual.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Moving on down from Renwick, that would be Gladier. So you're concentrating on this spell, or
No, it is not a concentration spell.
okay, I was just making sure. So the spell cracks off. You seem to have held this fey creature in place. What do you do? Renwick bobs in and lands a couple of blows before bobbing out. How do you proceed?
Um, does it look like, other than the hurtful words, one of the gens just shouted at Renwick? Does it look like are they like tensed up, like ready to? Can I do some kind of check to see if they're like ready to like pounce on us, like ready to take action?
Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Yeah.
Oh, they've been ready to pounce. You know what I mean?
That is 16.
They are kind of cuddled off in one of these pools. They look scared. They don't look to be taking any action. They look, huddled together, stressed out, kind of watching the outcome of all of this.
All right. Um, was that just like did you take that as a free action or
Yeah, free action.
bonus
You
action?
just kind of take assessing the battlefield, as it were.
All right, and then is the Spring King, is he kind of like right up against the barrier, or is he kind of further towards the center?
I'm gonna say he's right up against the barrier. He made an attack out of it, and he's definitely considering getting his hands on you.
All right. Um. Okay. Gladiator's gonna. What would it be if I were to drop my shield to the ground? Drop it right at my feet. Would that be like an action to, or a bonus action to take that off?
I mean, you could just drop your shield. You have free item interaction, but you only get one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Gladiator's gonna drop his sentinel shield right at his feet, and then take his elven kopesh in both hands and make 2 attacks at the Spring King.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and give me some attack rolls.
All right. First one to hit is an 18.
As you go to hit, 18 would hit, but another one of the gens kind of calls out to you. You know, it was more than just you being a dick. And I also think your friends don't really like you. They lie to you. All of them were talking shit behind your back when you weren't around, like the whole time. It was pretty sad. Go ahead and subtract a d10 from your 18 to hit.
Damn, that hurt me. And Glade. What is my d10s? D10. Actually, I'll roll that in chat since it's 1d10. 5. So that the 13 to hit.
That one glances wide, as it comes in, he steps back.
All right. Yeah, Glade's gonna growl over at her and then take a second swing.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead and give me an attack roll.
Single tear rolls down his cheek as he gets a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits for sure.
Okay. That's a 1d10 plus 8 plus 1d8 for improved divine. Alright. Ooh, that's a 17 plus 17 slashing, 4 radiant damage. Shit, I should have used a bonus action spell. I'll pump a first level divine smite in that for another 2d8. So
Okay, yeah,
17,
for sure.
Yeah, 17 slashing, uh, 4 radiant, plus another 5 radiant. So 17 slashing and 9 radiant damage total for my turn.
Okay, yeah.
Bonus action. I'm gonna hold off on my bonus action spells for now because I don't think that the gens are gonna attack right away. So I think that might be it. I'm just gonna kind of stand there on the opposite, like directly on the opposite side of the barrier from the Spring King, holding my sword and ready.
Okay. Moving on down. Logos. You are up. You trapped the Spring King in this magical cylinder. He seems to not be able to get out of. Your comrades have landed a few blows. How do you kind of proceed in this moment?
Or specification later. Can ranged attacks for me enter the circle?
Yes, yeah. So everything can enter the circle. The only thing he just has disadvantage on his attacks inside or leaving this. Actually, I don't even know if it's inside, but he has disadvantage on his attacks. Everyone else, it's just regular stuff around because it only affects like the creature I pick, and none of us are Fey. So, I mean, as far as I know, yeah, it just says the creature type has disadvantage on attack rolls against targets within or outside of the cylinder, depending on how I form it. So, I mean, if you want to tell us you're Fey right now, then you might have disadvantage. But if you're not Fey, you should be fine.
I don't think I'm Fey. I don't know. Guess we'll find out. All right, if that's the case, then I'm gonna bonus action Hunter's Mark the Spring King.
Okay, yeah.
1 second, let me knock that off. Appreciate
Can you
you.
put that in so I put in my cast, please?
Okay. Bonus action Hunter's Mark. And I'm going to look at the Spring King and say, "You've brought this on yourself. You tricked my father and imprisoned his friends, and I've come to free them. Now I've asked you if you saw him, and you told me you hadn't. And so I'll aim up the oath bow, and in Elvish I'll say, swift death to defeat my enemies, and swift death to you who have wronged me. And I'll let off an arrow aimed at the Spring King's head.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Give me some attack rolls. He kind of cries out to you. What? I mean, it's called making friends for a reason. You make your friends. Come on, you've never made
Oh,
friends.
that Spring King is one lucky son of a bitch. That's a 19 for a total of 31.
Damn it! I think it's kind of pointless to do it, but they still do. The one of the gens calls out to you. Yeah, I didn't want to be the one that told you this, but when we were all like into you, none of us were really like into you. You know, it was a ruse, and she gonna make you subtract a D10 from that. But I think even with a D10 subtracted max thing, you still strike true.
Oh, that's the because Logus is very sensitive. That would hurt.
I don't know if the code went.
Did I do it wrong? Am I doing something wrong, or what's happening here?
I don't know. I usually I type out the whole word sometimes.
The Avery app might just be acting slow.
Oh, oh well. I've got a D10 on me. I can roll it real quick. We're looking at 8 on the scale of
Yeah,
1 through 10.
that hurt. But that brings it 31 minus 8, 23.
Still hits for sure.
Oh man, he's so lucky if I would have critted on this. So that's just from the first attack. That's max damage on the arrow. 13 plus 4d6, including the hunter's mark. That's 4. So we're looking at 27 damage from the first arrow. Oh God, dude, this fucking D&D Beyond is blue balling me so hard right now. That's it. Literally rolled on a 20 and then plopped over on the 2. So yeah, that misses. 14.
Misses, but barely misses. You know, he has to parry your arrow at the last moment.
And I'm gonna move. I'm just gonna move a little distance away. Kind of like corner myself off away from where he's at and where the gens are at, just in case, and maybe climb up on the wall a little bit if I have to, just to create some space here between us.
Okay, yeah, you move about 15, 20 feet, and then, another like 10 feet up the wall easily enough.
And before I end my turn, I'll look at him and you know what the greatest betrayal of it all? Spring King, you were the most unchill out of all of us.
Bro, you take that back. That is not true. I'm the most
I
chill
won't
of
take
ever
it back.
chill.
You're not chill. You trick people. Very unchill of you. Bad Spring King.
Did I ever say that I, took down your father? No. Did I ever? I didn't say that I did. I didn't say that I didn't. That was like on you, man. And I'm super chill. Fuck
And you
you.
know who? No, fuck you. And we'll just like be throwing fingers back at each other. And
For
that'll be my
sure, for
turn.
sure. Moving on down, Blade, you are up.
Hmm. Uh, I guess. So can I like? Is this? Is it only the gens that are? I mean, they're not hostile towards us, but they're um scared, looking.
Correct.
Is there any like? Can I? Do I see any like honey goblins coming at us? Like, is there anything else like I should be? I don't know. Blade's looking a little worried. Like, I feel like we should be attacked.
Go ahead and give me a perception check as you kind of survey the battlefield.
I have a +10, so that'd be an 18.
As you kind of look around, you see a lot of like honey pots and barrels of honey just kind of in various places. But as you look up, you see, he's got this kind of like canopy of vegetation kind of intermingled with, various ropes and vines. And, there's the occasional bottle full of lightning bugs. Good ambiance kind of lighting. But as you kind of look around, you do see, several, jars of honey kind of tied up in these little vines and plants and things. But you also see several pots of flowers, very familiar flowers, flowers from a meadow not too far away. And you assume probably wouldn't take much to shake those loose, possibly introduce a couple of new combatants to the battlefield.
Oh God. Hmm. And just so I understand correctly, so I can make a roll to like see if I can escape this honey-like prison.
Yeah, I'm actually going to need a constitution saving throw, but we could say at the end of your turn, but you are restrained at this moment.
Okay, but it wouldn't cost me an action to try to break it.
No, just at the end of your turn.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm gonna try something a little interesting here. Why not? Blade is gonna kind of like when he's looking at the ceiling, uh, kind of glaring at all these honey pots, um, and kind of seeing what they did to him. Blade is going to, because I can still cast, I can still like speak and do like somatic. Can I still like move my hands?
I mean, I think you would probably have to make a check against being restrained if you would like to cast a spell.
Okay. Um, so I would like to cast a spell. So I guess should I do that check first, or I guess
Yeah, so this honey is very sticky, and for whatever reason, not only has it like splashed all over you in this like liquid form, runny honey, if you will, it hardens quickly, almost, like stone. So I'm going to require a strength check to see if you can't break out of this honey that's kind of crystallized around you. It's going to be a decent one, but we're going to put it up at, we'll call it 20
for strength.
for strength.
Fuck. Oh man.
Good thing you're super strong.
Yeah. Holy shit. My +0 if I'm doing a flat roll literally have to be a nat 20, right?
Yeah, I think. Haven't you hit the level where you can inspire yourself?
I don't think no.
Oh, so close. Maybe next level. Maybe next character after I kill this one.
God damn it. Okay, so I guess yeah, I can't pop any spells.
Struggle as you might, the stickiness kind of globs onto you and consumes you. The more you try to wipe it off your hands, eventually your hands just stick to you and are difficult to move at all. You're just kind of covered in this honey mess.
I'm just gonna kind of yell out to the group if I can before I'm frozen. Just like, guys, help! And yeah, I don't think I can do anything else if I'm restrained.
Okay, go ahead and give me a Constitution saving throw as you kind of this honey, though it's crystallized, it begins to creep from around you where it has kind of globbed on. It begins to grow, consuming more and more of you.
21.
21, very nice. Count that as a success. So far you have one fail and one success. As the honey kind of creeps up around you, you flex where you can and move the little bit of your body that you are able, and it cracks and flexes and flakes off this kind of creeping honey. Yeah, but it just kind of depends on who gets to 3 first, the bad or the good. So moving from there, Locris, you were bringing up the bottom of the round.
Awesome. Locris is going to begin whispering and abyssal, and this dark, shadowy spirit starts circling around him. And I cast Spirit Shroud, which is just a casting time of 1 bonus action. It lasts up to a minute. Call forth spirits of the dead, which flit around you for the spell's duration. The spirits are intangible and invulnerable. Until the spell ends, any attack you make deals 1d8 extra damage when you hit a creature within 10 feet of you. The damage is radiant, necrotic, or cold, my choice, and I'm going to do necrotic. Any creature that takes this damage can't regain hit points until the start of your next turn. In addition, any creature of your choice that you can see that starts its turn within 10 feet of you has its speed reduced by 10 feet. Now, because I'm casting it at 5th level, I get to add an extra d8. So it's 2d8 on any damage I do.
Excellent. Sounds vicious as these souls begin coalescing around you.
And then I'm going to get up to him, and since he's right there at the barrier, I believe, I'm going to unload 2 whales on him.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Give me a couple of attack rolls.
First one is a 23 to hit.
Oh, that hits,
And the
absolutely.
second one is 26. Let's see, that's going to be 3d8.
One of the gens does kind of pitch it a fit here. She kind of calls out to you, we thought you were a strong and silent type, but you just seem more emo. Only -2. It still hits.
I'll just look at her as I'm swinging and say, "Get bent, bitch." Oh, that's ugly.
Okay, so how much
7.
damage?
Let's see, that's 7 plus 7, so 14 on the first hit. Or it's we'll say does it matter necrotic versus radiant?
No, yeah, it's no like resistances or anything.
All right. I just want to make sure I broke it up properly if you needed it. Oh, that's better. 13, 14 plus 7, 21 for the second hit.
Very nice.
And then if he was right up by the barrier, I'll kind of lean back a bit just to make sure that barrier stays between us.
Yeah, for sure. You land a couple of keen blows, and he looks down at you, just anger and rage in his face.
Chill. And that'll end my turn.
Excellent. He's kind of limited to what he can do and where he can go. With another stomp on the ground, he attempts to dislodge a few more honey pots. A few more honey pots fall, and Blade, you are also the target of these other honeypots. Now that you're kind of restrained and frozen in place, stuck to the ground and yourself by this honey, several more pots fall in your direction. Go ahead and give me another Constitution saving throw.
All right. Hang in there, buddy.
All right, we'll call that two successes as you immediately, though you can barely move your body, begin shaking away this honey as while it's more viscous as it splatters upon you once again. Aside from that, the Spring King casts a mass like suggestion spell. It doesn't work, due to you guys being immune to charm. He scratches his head and kind of feels around this towel that he's got on, this lion's pelt, just kind of looking for something, but he's essentially unarmed. He steps forward. Locris made a couple of good attacks against him, but with only a bonus action left. And with disadvantage, he strikes at you, Locris, but does not find purchase with his massive clawed paws. Struggling and angry, the Spring King flails about, but it is actually Renwick. You are up.
Well, it worked so well last time. I think I'm going to step in, take another stab or two, and a shot. Because, first shot on the rapier is a 27. Second swing on the rapier is a 22.
Yeah, both hit.
I need con saving throw on that first hit.
Okay, con save. We're looking at an 10.
All right, sick. So with sneak attack, the bonus damage in the rapier. Let's see, 10, 12, 17, 28, 25. 32 damage on the first hit.
Damn.
And second hit is going to be 8 points of damage. And then on my way back out of the circle, hand crossbow shot for a 27. So that should be an additional 8 points of damage as well.
Renwick, go ahead and tell me exactly how you end the Spring King.
Oh. I feel like I never get the kill shot. I wasn't expecting that. Yeah.
Spring King suck, dude.
That magic circle was clutch. So I imagine like all this is going on and we're all just popping off. And I think Renwick just kind of like gingerly walks toward him, walks through the circle since he can pass through the barrier. And as he draws his rapier, he takes one kind of upward diagonal slash, and the Spring King draws back from it. He takes the second slash and stabs him straight through the chest. And then as he falls down, Renwick starts walking away, and he just glances back and he goes, "Pity, you were so beautiful." And then just fires his hand crossbow and places it right between his eyes.
An explosion of gold dust, and the Spring King is no more. No corpse, just an explosion of gold, glittering dust, kind of slowly settles in and around all of the hot tubs and this cave in general. And of course, all of you. You're now covered in like gold glitter. But yeah, the Spring King has been slain.
Logus will
Hail
fire
to
a
the
couple
king.
more. Yeah, Logus will fire a couple more arrows into his body.
I mean,
What
you
body?
fire a couple of arrows into the cloud of glitter. It just kind of whooshes around.
Well, I expected, more of a fight, but man, Gladia, that circle came in handy.
Yeah, see, I told you it would work. And he's just kind of like uh, casually walk up to Renwick, or not Renwick, I'm sorry, Blade, who's like turning to stone, and just smack him on the ass. And there's just like a little burst of divine energy as he makes contact, and I'll just do a cleansing touch. So it's one of my paladin features. You can use your action to end one spell on yourself or one willing creature that you touch 5 times per long rest. So choose to end flesh to stone.
Okay, yeah. So he's kind of restrained. It's more like honey to flesh, or I don't know, something. It was a flavoring. But yeah, you break free. You break Blade out of this like honey chrysalis that was beginning to form around him, and yeah, the Spring King is no more. Your comrade, we're out of combat for the time being. The only thing you guys really notice, aside from this gold explosion, is that all of the gens immediately transform. None of them appear to be dryads any longer. Each of them turns into an eladrin. There's a summer eladrin with like this gold, literally gold, shining, glowing hair. She has a beautiful tan and like a casual like skirt made of greens. Then there's an autumn eladrin with like this burnt orange skin, and he has a scowl on his face, a bit of facial hair, and this kind of wild like autumn colored like hair and clothing. There's also a winter eladrin that appears, very blue white colored hair, exhaling frost, and they just they sit and look longingly, and also like a spring eladrin, younger, shorter, mostly green pigmented skin, kind of grassy like hair and clothing. But yeah, essentially all of these dryads turn into various eladrin, these kind of like tall primordial elves, standing 9 feet tall or so. They're just and grateful. A couple of them immediately go to leave. They walk up to you guys. Thank you for freeing us from our prison. Well, off we go, and then they turn to exit the cave. The spring and the summer eladrin.
Well, wait, y'all don't want to like enjoy the spring and celebrate a little?
Absolutely not. Thank you for your services, but we have been chilling in this cave with that imbecile for several hundred years. I have much better things to do. And they just kind of walk off.
Lucas is heartbroken.
The autumn eladrin kind of remains behind, and so does the winter eladrin. They both kind of linger by the pool.
Seeing as they're all transforming, Locris is going to go down to the Spring King's room and check out that chest.
Ah, yeah. You walk over to the chest, and lo and behold, it is not locked. You throw it open, and there appear to be several small drawers hidden within this large chest. Each of these drawers has like a golden jeweled handle, but it would appear are several items stored here.
Can I check it for traps?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an investigation check.
Dirty 20.
As far as you can tell, there are no traps.
I'll start opening drawers.
All right. And as you start opening these drawers, I think that is where we're going to have to put a bookmark in our tail for the time being, fellas.
Damn, now I get a week to wonder what's in there. What traps I set off.
You're gonna leave us with the raging Cliffy on loot.
Yeah, Raging Loot Cliffy. You thought the fucking weird whispering bundle of leaves was weird? Just wait till next week.
We're all gonna die.
Sorry,
I
we
mean,
want one of your characters, Sean.
I wouldn't give Locris a badass super cursed item a second time, would I? I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, that spell
Hey.
came in. That spell came in clutch, dude. Like almost all of his spells were charisma based, like charm spells. I was gonna hammer you guys with them, but you guys being immune to it, kind of nullified his whole battle plan. And he's actually like had a stack of hit points and a serious amount of damage. You know, he was going to be doing somewhere probably between like 15 and 30 damage per attack. So a couple of attacks per round. You know, he's averaging 40 or 50 points per round. But I also threw in like a bleed mechanic where, you know, but that didn't come into play because he couldn't actually hit any of you guys. So you guys, that was a clutch spell. You definitely whomped a powerful enemy.
Man,
yeah,
so
you really broke that combat. So, Sean, if there's just a night where you really want to tee off on us on like a one shot just arena match so that you can use that character properly, I feel so bad that you have this badass custom character.
I know
you
you
got
planned for
fucking
us
wiped.
with the
Oh,
charm, plan for us to fight each other too while fighting him and all kinds of shit that was supposed to happen. And Gladiator just whomped it by himself.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it happens, dude. It's part of the story. You guys remember the trolls from Loot Drop? I was so close to
Yeah.
introducing trolls into this fight. You know, one of his legendary actions was going to be to leap up to the ceiling and start ripping down some of those flower pots, and couldn't do it when he's like trapped in this cylinder. You know what I mean? But yeah, it was also a potential for a bunch of enemies to kind of show up. At least 1d4 trolls per flower pot. So, but yeah, you guys.
I think about the troll combat often. That was our first like SWAT moment, and it was right up there with when Will joined the group and we were trying to raid. I think it was the floating island in Alex Arc, and we went full SWAT mode, like riding horses up to the vines and then
On
climbing
his
up.
wizard. Just completely restrained and fucked up his wizard before it had a chance to do anything. Alec was so mad, dude. I remember that.
We've had a couple of really good moments where like somebody just completely whops the whole situation.
Alec was like, "Fuck y'all, y'all got the island, whatever. Session over."
How the fuck
Yeah,
we steer this thing?
that shit's funny. You know, fucking, but it happens sometimes in D&D. You know, like if you guys have like a legit plan and strategy, you know, and you fucking mesh well. I mean, I don't know 3 to 5 chances where I was legit rolling off screen, or I set a DC and let you guys just kind of But yeah, there was several chances for him to notice that spell being cast. You know, there was a light conversation in between. Some deception and persuasion. It didn't have to crack out that way, but that's kind of the fun of the game, really. Yeah, it's like I don't like not being able to use cool shit, but I do like that you guys occasionally just womp some shit on account of your badasses. It's good storytelling.
I had the same situation running Strahd. The Will and the gang got to the winery. I had this crazy dungeon set up, all these fucking enemies and like all kinds of shit. And they literally snuck in. They just by chance went the perfect route that bypassed everything straight to the end, took out the boss first, and then backtracked when half the shit dissolved after the boss lost his staff. And they basically just like cleared the entire winery and bypassed a trap that would one shot a character. And like I was just so blown away. It was like, well, fuck all that prep and I'm just impressed.
That's why I struggle as a DM. I'd be like, no, you can't go that way. Go this way.
That reminds me of the first heist we did with the mask in the art gallery or whatever, and we just happened to pick the right room to break into.
Yeah.
And Jurgen had I had flying because I was playing a fairy, so I had flown up and like unlocked something, so we had an escape route by chance.
You guys
Was that the one
where you were a bugbear and you like punched that security guard in the bathroom?
bathroom?
Yeah, dude.
In the bathroom.
You guys played that so well. You guys don't even know. Like it was like if the party goes in and causes a ruckus, instead of it staying where it was supposed to be stored, it goes to either one or two locations. Roll to decide those locations. Like you guys like ate that module up, dude. Like you went and whooped some of the security guards' ass. You know what I mean? Like it was pretty good.
Straight up fucking mugged a security guard while he was taking a piss.
Oh, it was classic. That was such a good one.
Wasn't it like the first hit didn't work and you had to keep hitting him?
I had to get like max damage to like actually knock his ass out.
I was like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep.
Yeah, and I just managed to pull it off like miraculously after punching him once and not doing a damn thing.
Oh shit.
That shit was good.
So many good times.
And then I jumped out a window onto a frozen lake because I thought we were gods. It's fine.
I
You
will
for
have
sure
you know
keylifted
that
yourself. I remember that. That was funny.
I have told so many people about that exact instance, just talking about how ridiculous D&D gets and how the escape plan went so well. And like one guy just has slippers of spider climb, walks off the cliff. A couple characters can fly. I think I was a flying fairy, so I just picked somebody up, and you're just like, you jump off, and you're like, yeah, there's a lake below. And then everybody's like, it's fucking frozen. I think we had to go revivify you.
Yeah.
I often talk about that time we had to carry the fire giant's penis out of the cave.
I think it was more than one. I think
There were so many.
a lot.
We had like at
lot of
least 4 or
genitalia.
5.
Talking about how ridiculous D&D is, like we legitimately did that. I think we had to figure out how heavy it was, if we could even carry it. Like it was a mess.
And then I think we actually had to argue for double the reward because we brought back twice as many heads.
Yeah. You said bring back the head of a fire giant.
Yeah, they said the head of the fire giant, but they didn't say which head. So you're like, well, it's technically a head.
I would like to see like an old timey document like back in the day that was like, and bringeth thy reward for thine giant head, not in parentheses like not the giant penis head, you know, like it just happened to fucking like
genitalia.
Yeah, just happened to clarify that on a legal document would be awesome.
Yeah.
I feel like we probably have Sean on a couple of FBI watch lists from the shit he has to Google from the way we play. How heavy is the penis head of a fire giant?
You know, weirdly enough, AI is pretty talented for those kinds of questions. If I have to specify, I'm talking about D&D, or it's like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? But yeah, it gets pretty accurate answers sometimes. I would assume sometimes it's like a 50-50.
Sean, we definitely owe you a drink down in Florida for putting up with our shenanigans, dude.
That's for sure.
Don't threaten me with a good time. I'm in.
Yeah, we gotta run something. Everyone's down here, whether it's
I'm gonna be look, Ali. If I go down there, right, and we do your wedding, right, and we don't at least get one, like a one shot or a campaign session in person, I'm gonna be upset.
We're going at the bare minimum. It's going to be a one shot. I would like to run an actual session or actual campaign session, but like we need to at least do like a one shot. We need to roll some dice.
I was talking to Dakota on the Xbox the other day, dude. really looking forward to this trip. And it's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm really stoked.
Yeah, buddy, I can't wait. I'm gonna try to like sometime this week, hopefully, book the house. And it sounds like 4 of us and our spouses are staying. And then, Chris, what's your travel time look like, man? I think we're all planning to be there Wednesday through Saturday.
I don't know. I don't even know if I'll make it. I just had to spend $3,000, so I'm flying out to Washington next month to pick up a truck.
Well, damn, man. Let us know. I mean, if you're just like, if you can make the trip and you're just in and out by yourself, I mean, even if we book the place for just, the 4 couples or whatever, I'm sure we can find space if you can make it in.
Yeah, I can tell my wife to sleep in the truck, and me and you can share the bed.
There you go.
Also, man, like I understand financial shit and everything's hard for everyone right now. So like, if you end up not being able to make it, like, no harm, no foul. I completely understand. You got a family to look after. You got shit going on. So
I don't know. Fuck them kids, bro.
Oh god.
D&D first, man. Sorry. Been
Fuck
in it
them
too long.
Fuck them kids, no Weinstein.
Yeah, hey, man. As long as
I do not support
no
this message.
Weinstein. Dear Lord.
Dude, like that's the kind of shit that puts us on the watch list, man.
Yeah,
Buddy,
it's not my fault I have an
there's-
FBI agent. It's
there's
your
so
guys'
many-
fault.
There's so many things that put us
You
on the
just
watch
threatened the
list.
life of the president and his buddies earlier this week.
That's
I
a regular
felt
thing,
compelled to
though.
put it-
That's not. That's
to put a
normal.
statement.
Yeah, I mean, these days, that is kind of like, it's 50-50. I mean, you're either saying it or you're not.
I mean, it was the president this week. Last week, it was the fucking smoothie guy. You know what I mean? Like, fucking, I'm gonna, God, you know?
One bad smoothie away from crashing out.
Yeah, fucking, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Well, goddamn, guys. Great session. Way to crush that. I'm gonna go put myself to bed.
Fuck yeah, let's do this crazy thing again soon, fellas. Keep in touch on the socials.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's good, guys. See you next
Night,
week.
boys.
God.